The topic is ADHD, and it is a inattention and hyperactivity impulsiveness disorder, and it is because the brains of these children or adults have an impaired system of neurotransmitters, noradrenaline and dopamine, and that's exactly how the medicine, Adderall and Ritalin and others, will act in the central nervous system as stimulators, blocking the reuptake of dopamine or blocking the enzymes that degrade dopamine so that you have more dopamine in your brain and you can focus more. But as a functional medicine practitioner, nutritionist in this case, we want to look at the individual as a whole and look at the root cause of the disease. So the medicine is treating the symptom, correct? And it's great and it's very efficacious. But we want to know what is causing it, right? The underlying mechanisms. And in ADHD specifically, there's a very strong genetic component. It's estimated that from 60 to 90% is hereditary. But there is also an environmental component and a dietary component. And what do I mean about that? The environment would include the toxins, the toxic burden of this person. So if mom pregnant with baby had too much alcohol or drugs or cigarettes, and it is shown that they have offspring that have more neurological disorders, including ADHD, and also heavy metal intoxication. So lead and mercury would be the most common ones, but any others. A lot of pesticides, artificial flavoring, colorings, additives in the food, they all can affect the brains of these people, overstimulating them. What else can I say about? So yeah, that was environmental. Dietary, there are certain dietary deficiencies, nutrient deficiencies, such as omega-3, that has been shown to be very low in children with the ADHD. Magnesium can help, zinc deficiency, even iron deficiency. What else? Some kind of carbohydrate intolerance. There are also certain components of the food, such as sugars, things that are caffeine, things that are very stimulating, can also impair focus and worsen the condition. My dog's scratching on the door. She was scratching to go out, I open, and now she's scratching to come back. So what are the functional and nutritional interventions that we can do to support these people? Because these kids are extremely bright, very smart, and very, very creative, and they just need some extra help. While of course they're on their medication, but maybe we can do more things to support them, right? So first and foremost, we want to give them an anti-inflammatory diet. And what that means is eating the rainbow. So all the colors that you can get, natural colors, as many colors as you can put on the plate of this kid is the best thing you can do, because you are lowering inflammation. When the body is inflamed, the brain is also inflamed and is impaired in its functionality. So, and chronic inflammation underlies many of these neurological disorders. And so you want a lot of veggies with all the colors, and turmeric, and all whole foods and no processed foods, right? As little processed foods as you can. So some studies show that an elimination diet may be beneficial, and to be truthful, it is not a majority of people that benefit from this, but there is no way to know, so there's only, you can only try, right? And what would you eliminate? Well, the big six would be dairy, soy, wheat. I would say all gluten-containing grains, not just wheat, eggs, peanuts, and seafood. And you would eliminate that under the supervision of somebody, of course, so that you're not lacking in any micronutrients. You eliminate that for 4 to 6 weeks, then reintroduce one by one and observe the symptoms. Okay, you have to do that. That's the only way for you to know if you have a sensitivity or not, because since this is a delayed response, right? It's not something that you eat and immediately get diarrhea. It's something that it would take you a little while to notice if it impaired your focus or hyper-stimulated you too much. You also may want to try a few foods diet, and this one is definitely one that you want to do under the supervision of a professional, so you're not lacking in vitamins and minerals, since it's a very restrictive, but it basically consists on eating things that are not very common in the diet, because the more things that you eat every day, it is likely that you can develop a intolerance to that. So it would be things like lamb and venison and rice and pears, just as an example. And also there is the Feingold diet, and it is based on removing certain additives and preservatives and food coloring from the diet too, and it has been shown to have great benefit in helping kids focus better. And so according to this diet, you would take out the preservatives. So BHT, BHA, and you can see this on the label, TBHQ is also a preservative. You want to take all those artificial colors, so yellow number 5, blue number 1, all those that have names that are artificial. If it's a coloring, if you want to make a cake or a cookie, it's fine. You can use natural coloring. You can order it off of Amazon. You can buy it at Whole Foods. They're made from beet extracts and spirulina and carrots and stuff like that. You also want to eliminate, according to the Feingold diet, artificial flavorings. So any of them, vanilla, peppermint, strawberry, raspberry, even from mouthwashes and toothpaste, because children tend to swallow those. So you want to eliminate those, and artificial sweeteners as well, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and acesulfame. Okay. Also synthetic pesticides, so that means that you should try to eat organic as much as possible and stick to if you can't eat organic all the time, you can try that Dirty Dozen Clean 15 list that I have. If you scroll down on my feed, you'll find it there, but you can find it online. It's updated every year, and it'll show the produce list that is more contaminated with pesticides, and you should try to buy organic or not buy them at all if you can't afford organic. And then a list of the clean ones that you can buy conventional. That would be no problem. But you always want to wash, peel, whatever. If they're on the list of the Dirty Dozen and they are something that you can peel, then you can peel. You can soak them. I think I have a video here about lowering the pesticide residue on your food, and you can look at that. Also, perfumes and fragrances can trigger some of the patients, so that can be attempted as well to remove. So very important to remove sugar and refined carbohydrates. And this is for 2 reasons. One, it is correlated with more hyperactivity and attention deficiencies in these patients, but also to help balance blood sugar. So every time you have that blood sugar spike, people tend to get hangry, right? And well, you don't want an overstimulation, anything that upsets a person that already has a difficulty with their impulsiveness and with hyperactivity and focus. So you do want to balance your blood sugar. Besides removing sugar and refined carbohydrates, what you want to do to balance your blood sugar is keep hydrated and maintain a macronutrient balance in every meal and snack. So not have just a carbohydrate alone. You always want to have a little bit of protein, a little bit of a good fat, and a little bit of carbohydrate. And that, a nutritional professional can help you determine what are good meals and snacks to have all those macros in there and balance your blood sugar. You also want to optimize certain minerals and vitamins in your body. You only need to take a supplement of the vitamins and minerals that you are lacking. You have to test before you go out and buy whatever it is, okay? Because too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So vitamins that you want to optimize, and when I say optimize, go test your blood, see if it's low. If it is, then you take a supplement, okay? So that would be vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, and omega-3. Omega-3 has been shown to increase dopamine production and the dopamine receptors in the brain. So it's very interesting. And for these people, it would be very high doses, like 4 grams a day. You have to check with your doctor once you determine if you have a deficiency or not, for them to determine if you have a deficiency or not and dose this for you. Very important is to fix the gut and maintain its integrity. So if you have dysbiosis, that imbalance of bad guys and good guys, there are a slew of problems that impair your brain function. Okay, so you want to remove the bad guys. You want to repair the gut lining if it's leaky, or if it has inflammation there. You want to replace with probiotics and prebiotics. And again, probiotics is not something you go to the store and buy whatever. There are certain strains for certain conditions that act better. You don't want to throw your money away. And if you have intestinal overgrowth of bacteria and you take probiotics, you're going to feel miserable. You're going to get gassy. You're going to may have diarrhea. it's just not something you want to go ahead and do on your own. Prebiotics are fibers that feed the good guys. So those are inulin and psyllium husk and all that. And those also are things that are in all the veggies that we eat, and they're great for you. So again, the variety of veggies in your diet, variety and quantity. And also you want to eat gut healing foods such as bone broth and fermented foods, sauerkraut and kimchi and natto and tempeh and stuff like that. Fiber rich foods, again, because of the prebiotic qualities. And polyphenol rich, meaning the colors. Again, I'm stressing the colors. So the colors are not only good for you, giving you antioxidants, giving you vitamins and minerals. Well, the colors are also, the phytonutrients feed your good bacteria. And another approach that you can do is to identify if there is a toxin exposure. Sometimes you're near a plant of cement, or you have mercury, you played with mercury, or lead in your pipes, your house is old and your lead pipes and you're getting contaminated. Well, there are ways to chelate that, remove that from your system, support your system with different kinds of amino acids, a methylated B complex. All that helps your body detoxify all that, and for that also you need the help of a professional. I'm just throwing the idea out there for you to know what to look for, know what to talk to your doctor about or your nutritionist about. So there are certain people that have genetic defects on their detoxification pathway. So for these people, elimination of toxins will be a little bit harder, but there is always a way around it by supporting your metabolism with these B complexes, some amino acids such as taurine and others. But there are things that you can do to help detox yourself. And how do we detox? We pee it out, we poop it out, and we sweat it out. So you want to be exercising, you want to be functioning well in your elimination process, you want to be drinking lots of good quality water that is not re-intoxicating you with other stuff. So sauna as well is a great thing to detoxify. Now I want to talk specifically about exercise. So the data on exercise and its impacts on focus and distractibility and self-regulation is abundant. So you want to exercise. And these people should be exercising daily, okay? Even vigorous exercise, something that will help them, first of all, sweat, so detoxify, but it also helps with their attention, all right? And then you want to reduce in your diet your intake of stimulants, and not only the chemical stimulants such as caffeine and sugar and taurine, these other monster drinks and stuff like that they put stuff in there. You want to reduce those, but also you want to reduce technological, environmental stimulants. So kids should limit their screen time and watching playing violent video games and all that. Maybe closer to bedtime, you want to reduce that, because there is an importance of having adequate sleep for these people, because it is when the brain is going to calm down and file and detoxify as well. So having a sleep hygiene routine, limiting screen time, meditating, coping with stress, it's all very important. So you want to avoid the triggers, right? The triggers for this lack of focus or for this hyperactivity, which is stress and poor sleep and food additives and certain foods that are allergy causing, overstimulation, technology, and all that. And there's also something that I heard today on a podcast is called an ADHD coach, and I had no idea they existed, but apparently they do, and they help people with attention disorder, give them coping mechanisms, things that they can organize, help them focus, make lists, and deal with their problem better. So that was the message I had today, and if you have any questions, just let me know.